So I've never started a video like this, and yeah, this is new, but I thought it'd be a difference from normally sitting down in front of my computer and just talking to the camera. So I thought I'd start by walking about. So what is the idea of doing this? I'm just showing you my room. Oh my god, I'm dizzy. Okay, what is the idea? What's this video about? So this video is about this. Kind of. More specifically, it's about being able to test this and the code that runs on this. Sort of. So as of right now, this is my CedeLing test for Arduino. Well, it's not because that didn't work. But if we do this, that's Arduino code running in VS Code and our own functions CedeLing tested. So I'm going to show you how we got exactly here. Okay, so here we are on my we're actually on my Linux desktop with a virtual machine running. Before I made this video, or before I started recording this video, I started to actually get the test-driven development working in VS Code on my own desktop before I go through and show you how to do it on your own. And I thought it'd be better if it was a fresh machine, i.e. a virtual machine, that could actually do this in case I forget or miss any steps. That way, hopefully, if there's any problem, hopefully there isn't any problems, but if there is, we'll catch them here because it's a fresh install. That's the theory anyway, so let's get started. So first up, let's get some stuff installed. So you need VS Code, that's the first thing. Then once VS Code is installed, we need to get CedeLing installed, and that's done via installing Ruby, which is another sort of framework we need. And we also need Unity installed. Unity is the CedeLing sort of framework. It's not the actual game development tool, so just keep that in mind when you're installing it as well. It's actually, it's a completely different tool set, so yeah, just keep that in mind. And we also need an Arduino IDE as well, so let's get Ruby installed. So you install Ruby and VS Code via apt-get if you're on Pop! OS, and then to install CedeLing you need to do gem install, which is why we needed to install Ruby, so it gives you this gem command. So CedeLing, it'll go and get that, and then after that we can get Unity, and then we should be hopefully good to go. Well, not quite, we still need the Arduino IDE, so let's go get that. So Arduino, make sure this is version, the 1.0 version or 1 point whatever. Don't go to version 2 of the IDE because this will not work with the VS Code extension. So just keep that in mind. We need to get Arduino. So don't go for this one. Go for this one. So I'm on 64-bit. That's fine. So once we get that downloaded, then it should just be a case of extracting it. If this will fucking hurry up. This is the thing with VMs, they're very slow. So just extract that here. It doesn't really matter where you extract it, but we'll just extract it here for now. And then I'm just going to make my life easier by going into this folder and removing, because this is a folder which holds another folder which holds loads of folders. So what I'm going to do is just remove this folder and set it out here, and then once everything's removed out of that, you can just delete that and delete that if you want to. So now we have everything downloaded. In theory, what we should be able to do now is get our shit together. So what you need to do is come over to the extensions tab and get a couple of things installed. Look for this and install this. It's the Microsoft version. So this will hopefully allow you to be able to do all your Arduino development via VS Code. Once that's installed, install the Arduino extension, which is a Microsoft official download. And then once that is installed, what we'll do is open this cog here and go to the extension settings, and then what we'll do is look for Arduino.path. Okay, so the reason we're doing this is because this extension needs to know where the Arduino program is. So what we're going to do is just copy this. This is why I kept it in the downloads folder, and change your username. And then what else? So I need to actually give it the proper version, which is 1.8.1.19. And then once that's done, restart VS Code. Then what we can do is set up some, let's just make sure our Arduino stuff is working first. So new file, hello adder, it's .ino. Okay, I've zoomed in on this, right, but that's just so you guys can see it. But if you basically look along the bottom here, these options are given to you by the Arduino extension. If it's installed correctly, I don't really need to show you this connecting because we're not going to really be using it. I'm not going to really be installing stuff. What I could do is I'll show you it on my screen, on my actual thing, on my actual VS Code version. So I'm going to zoom in and show you. So this is basically an Arduino script I had earlier. And in theory, I'm on Linux, right? So it's going to pick the serial port that it's installed in. So it showed this straight away. So I just assumed this was right. You may have to go and search and find what COM port it is. But luckily for me, it was just sitting there. So you select the right COM port. And that's what that does. So let me just go back to my virtual machine. If we've done everything correctly and we go select board type, it should give you this wee pop-up window that gives you an option for loads of boards. Now, the board I'm using is an Arduino Maker 0 and it's not actually in this, so this may also happen to you. Not to worry, what you can do is put in Control-Shift-P and it'll give you an option here. And then if you scroll down and look for Arduino Board Manager, it'll give you another pop-up option here. Let me just get rid of this and this. And what it'll do is it'll basically give you all the options to install certain boards. So I need to get Arduino Maker 0, that's what I need, so I'm going to install that. And then it'll show you down here, it's doing all the downloads and installs. But basically this is downloading all the configs you need for your Arduino board so that you can develop with it. So once this is done, we'll look at the test cases and get a test case up and running. So once you have all this set up and installed, what you can then do is go and actually find your board. So my board will be here now that this is installed. So it's an MKR0. That's it. Bosh. And then you select your programmer. I selected, what did I select? Arduino J-Link. So I just selected this, and in theory that should be you. So once you have a wee Arduino file made and ready to go, the Arduino extension gives you the options here to verify, which is basically compiling your code to make sure there's no errors, and to upload it to your device. So if I just compile this, it'll give you an option, or it'll give you information down here. That all looks okay, it's happy enough. So it's went through and verified it and it's fine. So if I try and upload that, I'll not upload it on this because I don't think I'll be able to find it. But if I go back to my own code, okay, so this code is practically the same as our boxes, only there's a hello world in here. So if we go back, verify this and upload it, and if we hit this, this is the serial monitor, and this should hopefully show us hello world printing. So that's the Arduino extension set up for VS Code. This is the meat of the bones we're getting to now, Ceedling testing the Arduino code. So if we open the terminal again, right, Ceedling new Arduino testing. So this is basically going to create like a framework or a file structure that Ceedling is aware of from my Arduino test suite. So you just give it new and it'll create this new thing, and you give it a name. So if you hit that and do that, it'll create it. So we go back into our folder structure, it's created this, right? So it's created a source directory, a test directory, and a project YAML file. Now this project YAML file is the actual config file that Ceedling needs. So I'm just going to open it, and it sets up all the gear in here. So if we just take this and scroll down a bit, this is just showing you all of the stuff it does. And in theory, you shouldn't have to worry about this unless you're going to be doing other things. You may have to dig into this yourself, but for our purposes, it's fine. So I'm just going to drag and drop the helloadder.ini file into our source directory so that we keep everything nice and contained. Then what we need to do is, let's say we have a project, and it's a project that we need to write our own code for, and it's just one of them things where you just have to do it. So what you need to do is, instead of having a function in here, which is basically an adder function, let's say we want to add two numbers. This is why we called it hello world adder.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Okay, so let's say we have an adder function, right? But let's say we have a fucking adder function, a multiplier function, a divide function, a subtract function, a square function, a square root function, And let's say we have all of that in this file, right? So we have all of this, right? And it just eventually gets a bit messy. So what you would want to do, and it helps for our purposes here, is that you would want to create a header file. So the way the Arduino code works and the Arduino scripts work, I believe, is that everything basically lives in the header file. So if we just say adder, so if we move our adder function into the header file, and with most functions, or with every function, you need to give it a function declaration. So that just means you put it up here with a semicolon at the end, so that the compiler knows that if it sees this, it's already been declared up here. And what else do we need? It's a header file, right? So we need a few hash ifs. So we do, and I can't remember exactly what they are, but that's fine. We can go and get them, I believe. So this is one I made earlier, repeater style. So hash if and def. Then I think what we need, do we need anything else? Let's just give it the standard int library. Okay, that's our header function, or our header file containing our function. Let's say if you want to add a subtract function, all you do is just do this. You do subtract, and what you may want to do is make that assigned integer, and then just subtract these numbers, and then add the function declaration above there. So that's good. We've got an add and a subtract function. Bet you didn't expect that, did you? Okay, so we have our adder, subtractor. It's called adder, the header file, but we've added a couple of functions in here, which is one of them is called subtract. So if we want to use that, first thing we need to do is actually include the adder.header file. Then we've created some of our variables that we need, and then finally we've implemented our adder and subtract function. And in theory, this will go and print the added and subtracted result. Now we're not going to do that because we don't really care about that right now. What we actually care about is testing the code. So what we're going to do now that we have everything all implemented is we're actually going to test it. In theory, what you should do is do the test first, but I've done it back to front because reasons. So if we go into our test folder and create a test example file, we'll actually call it test adder.c, right? And then what we need to do is actually get some of the setup. So you need some header files and a setup and a teardown function. So we have, these are the main things we need: the Unity header file, the adder header file, the setup and teardown functions, and an actual test. So if we're going to make a test called void, called test adder and test subtract. So the test cases all have a void, return and a void, and void parameters. So test adder, right? So this is a method called gherkin testing. So you basically write out the scenario in the comments. So given we have two numbers, when we add them, then we should get the correct result. So given we have two numbers, when we add them, so I'm going to borrow this adder here, and then what we need to do, this is where the test actually happens. So this is why you need Unity. So Unity is a header file with all these sort of macros in there. So test cert equal, if I can type, holy shit, I cannot type. Then what we need to do is, I'll just show you this if I can. I can't. Okay, that's fine. So if we test the cert equal takes two parameters. It takes an expected value and an actual value. So we know when we add 20 and 5 together, we should get 25, and we're going to test it against the actual result that we get. So that's how that should work. And in theory, if I've done everything right here, this should just work. Make sure you're in the right directory when you run this. So you run the command from the terminal. So it's Ceedling test all. And it didn't work because nothing works first time. Okay, it didn't work because I can't spell by the looks of things. So make sure everything is spelt right. Like, Jesus, I nearly did it again. Like that. And let's try this again. So it's Ceedling space test all. And it just worked. Now, to prove that it worked, what we can do is change the expected value to 22. We run that again, it's failed because it expected 22 and it was 5. So that's basically set up Ceedling to work with your Arduino scripts. Yeah, that's the end of that. And that all went really fucking well and worked practically nearly flawlessly. Wasn't expecting that. So that's me. If you thought this was useful, liked it, or didn't like it, subscribe. like, dislike, comment. Let me know what I could have done better. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like, and any suggestions. Greatly appreciated. That's me. Alright, bye.